Hi writers, it's Miss Brody coming to you with a writing workshop lesson on crafting conclusions. Okay, let's just do a quick review. You had a lesson on introductions. What were the goals of introductions? Why do we write them? Well, if you said to hook the reader, then you were correct, right? We want to grab that reader's attention so that they want to read our piece. What are some of the ways that we can do that? Well, there are many. One way we can hook them is we can highlight something unique or attention-getting. And I'm just using, pretending like I'm writing a book or an all-about on the Lewis and Clark expedition. And so I'm hooking them with something unique or attention-getting that has to do with Lewis and Clark. So all of my examples will have to do with Lewis and Clark. So here's something unique or attention-getting that I found in my research. Before the Lewis and Clark expedition, nobody had seen grizzly bears or prairie dogs before. In fact, the two explorers encountered 178 types of plants and 122 species and subspecies of animals new to science. That would get my attention if I read that, and I'd want to keep reading. Another type of hook is I can begin with an interesting quote. "Ocean in view. Oh, the joy," wrote William Clark on November 7th, 1805, as he first spotted the Pacific Ocean. That would just be one sentence of maybe a couple more to get my reader's attention about how exciting the Lewis and Clark expedition was. I can also contrast a difference between then and now. Remember, we're writing about history and things have changed. So maybe I start with, today, it's hard to imagine a huge part of the United States that had never been discovered or traveled on. But in 1804, that was what it was like for Lewis and Clark. Or I maybe would say their whole full names, right? But so I'm contrasting a difference between then and now to get the reader's attention. Maybe I want to describe a scene, and I use that word imagine that we've talked about before that grabs our reader's attention and gets them to create an image in their mind. Imagine setting off on a journey in which everything is a mystery. What you will see, who you might encounter, what it will be like, right? I'm getting the reader to imagine what the Lewis and Clark expedition is before they even know what the Lewis and Clark expedition is. I'm getting them to imagine something that I will then later describe. And finally, I might want to even just start with a question. Can you think of a trip so important it changed history? Right? That would get my attention, and I would be excited to learn about a trip that changed history. So those are some of I've listed 5 basic ways that we can hook the reader. Well, what are the goals of conclusions? Well, first, before we talk about the goals of a conclusion, let's talk about what conclusions aren't, what a conclusion should not do or should not be. One thing is we don't want readers to be taken by surprise when we have a conclusion. So nothing at the end of our book should be surprising to our readers. We also don't want to leave our reader hanging at the end of the book, right? We don't want to sort of make them feel like, wait, you've got to tell me something more. Wait, you can't leave me, without filling me in on something. So we definitely don't want to leave our reader hanging. And the last thing we don't want to do is we don't want to just simply restate or summarize everything that we've already said or written about. That's kind of boring. And if you've done your job as a writer, you really shouldn't need to restate everything that you've already said before. So those are all the what not to do. So then again, we come back to what is the goal of a conclusion? So what do we do? What should we do? Well, a couple things. We want to leave the reader with a new thought or question. And I don't mean a question that leaves them hanging, but more of a question that they kind of ponder, that not necessarily that they're begging to know the answer to, but more of a basic question. Sorry about that. A basic question, a sort of more of a rhetorical question that just lets them think about something. And maybe I also want to make the reader continue to think even after the reading is done. That's what I want to do. But here again is that big question. How? How do we do it? Well, the good news is it's not as hard as you might think. You can highlight something unique or attention getting. You can end with an interesting quote. You can contrast a difference between then and now. You can describe a scene, or you can even end with a question. Again, a more rhetorical question, not one that has to be answered. If these 5 things look familiar, it's because they are. They're the exact same things that I said you could do for an introduction, right? So I'm not saying you could totally end with, before the Lewis and Clark expedition, nobody had seen grizzly bears or prairie dogs. I might have to add sort of one extra sentence before or after this. Same with ocean in view. Oh, the joy. That might not be the very last sentence. I might need a little sentence before it or one that comes after it. But again, you get the idea that I can start and end my essay in my book in very similar ways. So the things that you were using to help you write an introduction to hook your reader, they are the same strategies that writers use to end their writing. Now, obviously, you're not going to start with the exact same quote at the beginning or the end, or the exact same question at the beginning and the end, but you can change it up a little bit. So we're almost done here. Conclusions are a lot like shoes. You never know which one is right for you until you try several on for size. So today, your goal today as a writer is to work on a conclusion. And that might mean that you try out a few of the different ones. And hopefully your teacher's going to post to you those slides with those 5 examples to remind you of some of those 5 strategies you can use to remind yourself. And if they don't, you can just come back and look at this video and remind yourself of these 5 different ways. Something unique or attention getting, that sort of surprising fact, an interesting quote, a difference between then and now, describing a scene, or asking a question. So writers, you are almost done. The conclusion is really important. Take time, make it the best it can be by trying on a few different conclusions to see which one fits your writing best of all. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.